I'm at the bad guy for posting videos on my niece and nephew misbehaving in response to my sister's complaints that I didn't want them at my birthday dinner. My sister Angel claims to use hands-off parenting with my niece Sophia and nephew Parker. In actuality, Angel is entirely permissive and refuses to discipline them. She expects other adults to step in when Sophia and Parker's behavior is getting out of hand. For this reason, I asked Angel to get a babysitter for Sophia and Parker if she wanted to attend my 27th birthday. I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, and at the same time, I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday instead of dealing with Sophia and Parker's behavior, because I know Angel is going to discipline them herself. Angel acted understanding when I made this request and explained my reasons to her in person. But then she went online and made a Facebook post accusing me of hating Sophia and Parker and trying to punish Angel by only inviting our sisters Jessica, Kate's Megan to my birthday dinner. Never mind that Megan is 17 and is practically an adult herself. Several of our relatives and mutual acquaintances called me out and said I was a bad guy and was excluding a 10 and 7 years old. I responded to Angel's post by sharing 2 videos of Sophia and Parker misbehaving while Angel did nothing. The first video was recorded and taken by Megan, where Sophia and Parker were throwing tantrums and yelling at her. Megan was trying to calm Sophia and Parker down while Angel was on her tablet ignoring the situation. The other video was on that Angel took. Sophia and Parker were yelling, throwing toys at each other, and Parker even called his sister a bad word. Angel was laughing as if it were funny and was again doing nothing to discipline Sophia or Parker. I wrote alongside the video that I love Sophia and Parker as their aunt, but at the same time, I want a peaceful evening to celebrate my birthday, and I don't want to be stuck disciplining Sophia and Parker because clearly Angel won't. Angel ended up not coming to my birthday at all. My parents told me that I was in the wrong for sharing those videos because everyone's children have acted up and posting their videos didn't accomplish anything besides embarrassing Angel. They also said I could have compromised by having a nobody under 18 rule for my birthday dinner. Megan will not be able to attend, but then Sophie and Parker wouldn't feel excluded. I do not see how they will be fair to myself or Megan, so I'm not the bad guy for not wanting to make compromises for my birthday dinner. And yeah, I wanted to clarify some common concerns about the videos. Firstly, both me and Angel's Facebooks are private, so the only people who are able to view the video are people who either I or Angel have added as friends. A stranger will not be able to see them. Angel had already posted the video that she recorded of Sophia and Parker misbehaving, so I merely linked that. Megan had already posted the video that she recorded, so just on a different social media platform. I am uncertain if Megan's social media is private, but no strangers will be able to view the video from my and Angel's Facebook accounts. So what do you think? I'm not the bad guy for prioritizing my daughter's school performance over her emotional well-being after her mother's death. I'm feeling conflicted about the drastic decision I made regarding my teenage daughter following the death of her mother. I can't help but wonder if I made a huge mistake, so I'm turning to you to pass judgment on whether or not I'm being the bad guy in this situation. Since my wife's passing, life has been tough for the both of us. Dealing with my own grief while trying to provide her has been a challenge. My daughter has been extremely distraught, and I can see how much she's struggling emotionally. However, when she asked me for the time off from school to process her grief, I ended up prioritizing her academic performance instead. I will admit, I've always been a stickler for education, and my daughter is a bright student who excels in her studies, particularly math and science, which are very important, and I wouldn't want to jeopardize that. When she approached me, I couldn't help but think about how I would impact her grades and future prospects. I was concerned that missing school will lead to a drop in her academic performance and potentially hinge her chances of getting into a good college. Instead of allowing her to take some time off, I suggested that she continue attending school and told her that I believe that maintaining a routine and focusing on her education will provide stability and keep her on track. Apparently, my daughter was devastated by my decision. She accused me of not caring about her feelings and prioritizing her school performance over her emotional well-being. She believes that I'm being callous and unfeeling, dismissing her need for time to heal. So what do you think? I'm mother Begge for yelling at my brother's pregnant girlfriend and kicking them both out of my house after she threw away my food. Hello, I'm male 21. I live alone. My brother and his girlfriend still live with our parents as they can afford a place of their own. His girlfriend is currently pregnant with him in 4 months. My brother asked to bring his girlfriend for dinner in order to catch up, and I said sure, why not? However, the moment she entered my house, she started complaining about the smell of the steak I was making and said just, the smell alone makes her nauseous and she can't eat this. I tried to suggest an alternative, but she was dead set on Chinese food and ended up sending my brother to the nearest mall in order to get her some. I thought that would be the end of it, but after going to the bathroom and coming back, I caught her throwing my unfinished steak into the garbage. Asked her what the hell she was doing, and she said the smell was so strong she thought she'd ended up throwing up on the floor and she needed to get rid of it, and then started spraying a perfume from her perfume in my kitchen. I was beyond furious at this point and sent her back to the living room, and after my brother came back from the mall, I kicked both of them with their Chinese food. My brother tried to convince me to let them back and that I could make something else for the two of us, and his girlfriend was pretty much sobbing at this point. But I was dead set on kicking them both out. However, my parents ended up being mad at me for apparently causing so much distress to my brother's pregnant girlfriend. I told them that she's literally threw away our dinner, but they said that I shouldn't have yelled at her or kicking them out as they just still a teenager and now getting influenced by her pregnancy hormones, and that my outbursts also caused problems in their relationship, as she ended up sending my brother to sleep on the couch that night, even though he literally defended herself as well against me. So I have no clue how this is my fault. So I'm at the Begge for apparently not having enough tact to deal with a pregnant teenager. I'm at the Begge for begging my girlfriend to uphold a sexist tradition just so she can make a good first impression. I have a big family that's incredibly close. We have big family dinners every few months where we all met at my great-grandfather's estate and eat together. Typically, how this works is that the women go cook for the time they're there and the men don't, which is, I'm fully aware, it's a sexist as hell. That being said, I am one of the youngest people in my family, and my protests mean literally nothing. Some of those women choose not to cook. However, this is usually met with a level of ostracizing. The women who don't cook are leaves and long-term girlfriend. So they can already have a good family relationship deteriorating. When I have seen new partners not cook, it's gone bad. Like completely ostracized, not speaking, catness, rudeness, and etc. This dinner will be in 2 weeks, and my girlfriend was asking if she would attend. Initially, she said yes, which is great, even for her to meet everyone and for everyone to get used to her being around. But when I explained to her that tradition, she was understandably bothered. I told her that I understood where she was coming from. However, it was best for everyone if she just played along. I told her this isn't a permanent thing and that I'm already only asking her to do this so that she can avoid bad treatment from the rest of our family. This is her first impression, and I don't think it's best if we cause wave. She told me that it's unacceptable and that if she has to do that, she will not be going. If she tried to find a compromise with her on this, but she won't budge, and she's pissed at me. She told me that if I think it's acceptable to make her do this, I'm just as bad as everyone else. Well, my point is that she needs to make a good first impression. So, am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for making my dad's fiancé cry? My father and his fiancée have been together for about 6 years now. When they first got together, me was still living at home. She moved in about a month into their relationship, and I didn't have a problem with her at first, until she tried to actually mother me. I'm not talking about giving advice or being a supportive role model, more like giving me a 9 o'clock curfew. I live in a rural town, so that's a joke, and cleaning up after her dog was an accident. Every time I'll bring it up to my dad, he will say, just try for me. Needless to say, I move out soon after. Fast forward to a week ago, my dad invites me over for dinner, out of nowhere. As we haven't spoken in quite some time, I hesitantly accept, and spend the following few days trying to prepare myself for what they're going to say. I show up that night, bottle of wine in hand, anxieties out of my mind. The night goes on for a few hours, as exchanging small talk until I can't take it anymore and ask why they invited me. My dad said that they were getting married and wanted me to do his best man. I'm not going to lie, I laughed hard. This turned into the fiancée crying because she thinks that I don't like her, and I told her she was correct. It should also be said that given the option between me or his fiancée, my dad will choose her in a heartbeat. For example, I went on a 2-day camping trip. I had a spot in the garage for my car when I left. She had it when I got back until I moved out. Until I really only care about that because hail damage. I've been getting comments about if that was the worst the fiancé was while I was living there. So I guess this is info I should add to the post. She comes from a very Christian family, and if her parents found out about the situation, I've heard she's be essentially shunned. So I guess the biggest thing is her keeping us a secret. She expects us to do just accept her into the family, and I guess her assumptions were somewhat correct. But how can she expect that when she doesn't think we're worth of her family? She knows she's doing something wrong, yet she wants us to play along like no one is being hurt. However, at this point, I guess that no one thing could be changed. I don't ask at dinner. So what do you think? Am I the bad guy here? Am I the bad guy for accessing my dad's phone and deleting a pic of me? My family and family friends were abroad at a hotel resort. I don't like shirtless pictures of me being taken. This holiday, I was pretty much allowed to do my own things. That was mainly sleep, eat, and enjoy the pool. To that end, my days only ever overlapped with family and family friends in the evenings. One night, halfway through the holiday, during dinner, I told them that I would come with them to the beach. The beach was a 10 minutes walk away. I specifically said no photos at the beach, and they agreed to this. At this point also, it's been a fact for years that I don't like my photo being taken, so it's nothing new. Skip to next day, we were walking to the beach and I reminded them, please don't take any photos of me. At that beach, all is well with the world. I decided to put sunscreen on, and to do this I take off my top. Then once done, I go for a swim in the sea. I didn't put my top back to swim because I didn't want it to get wet in swimming, and my dad take pictures of me without my consent. I shake my hand, put my arms up and tell him to stop, but he continues and smiles while doing so. I then start to confront him. Why do you want to do that? I especially ask you not to. Then he goes on the defensive. You're my son. I can take pictures of you if I want. I let her sneak onto his phone and delete the pictures myself, and he gets even more annoyed. Also, for everyone wondering, if I had asked me if he could take a photo, I would have put my shirt back on and let him. I understand that he wants to take a picture of me to commemorate the time at the beach, and that's cool. But he done the one thing I asked him not to, and I know those photos go on Facebook, and that's my exact fear. I don't need a shirtless photo being seen by all of my extended family and friends. There's also the part where I know changing, accessing things on people's phone, it's not cool. But I know he wasn't going to delete the pics. So I'm not the bad guy here. What do you think? I'm not the bad guy for telling my sister that my nephew will not longer be invited to my daughter's birthday parties. I have an 8-year-old daughter, Jill, and my sister has my 8-year-old nephew, Nick, Finn, and my niece, Lily. My sister and I usually were close. Both Jill and Nick are autistic. For her 8th birthday, Jill asked if she could have a party at our house because she has made friends at school this year. Sometimes she has had trouble with. I agreed and she invited 10 of her classmates. She also asked if she could invite her cousins and I agreed. She really only wanted Lily here. But she wanted to also invite Finn and Nick so they didn't feel left out. Finn didn't come, but my sister basically forced Nick to come because he doesn't usually get invited to birthday parties and social gatherings. He arrived in a Jedi costume. It was not a themed party, and my sister said it was the only way he agreed to come. I told her I didn't have a problem with it. He spent the whole party pretending to be a Jedi and interrogated a few of the other kids about being part of the Empire. Jill told me that she didn't like it and asked my sister if she could talk to him. She said, and he settled for a very brief period, but every time we would play a party game, he would take over by loudly drawing attention to himself. When we sang Happy Birthday, he caused the scene by throwing a tantrum by saying this party was stupid, and so was everyone here. Jill cried, and I asked my sister to take him home. She later called me and told me I was cruel for making him leave. That I, of all people, should understand how much he struggles because I'm autistic, though diagnosed in adulthood. I told her I do understand, but that he ruined Jill's first ever friendly party, made the other kids upset at points by insulting them, and threw a tantrum when things weren't about him. I told her I know he struggles and doesn't understand, but so does Jill, and I have to look out for her, and that he won't be invited to future birthday for a while. I feel very guilty, but I think I did the right thing. So what do you think?